Yo, what is good YouTube? I am Richie Kim, and today I'm going to be bringing you all the performance review on Giannis Antetokounmpo's third signature shoe with Nike, the Nike Zoom Freak 3. Before we get started, if you all enjoy sneaker content just like this, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below and hit that bell notification button so you never miss another video just like this. But anyways, let's get right into it. As always, starting off with the traction, the Zoom Freak 3 features like this almost heat wave like traction pattern. It's supposed to be a computer generated traction pattern that looks like a topographical map. And yeah, you know, the traction on here was just okay. I would definitely say it's inconsistent. Whether you're playing on a clean court or a dusty court, there's going to be times where you have good stops, and then there's going to be times where you slide to a stop. And that slide to a stop could be, you know, just like a small slide, or it could be a pretty big slide, but you don't slip out. At least I never did. But yeah, you know, just the inconsistency is really, really bad. If you're gonna slide to a stop, I would rather slide to a stop, you know, like the same distance all the time rather than, you know, having some good bite here and then just sliding over here. It's just not a great look. And like I said, you know, that was across all courts. Even on clean courts, you know, I would slide to a stop or I'd have good bites just here and there. And it's really random and I really did not like that. And what makes it weirder is that the dust pickup on this shoe really isn't, you know, bad at all. So I think it may just be the traction pattern or maybe just the color of the outsole. You know, I always mention that black outsoles from Nike don't perform as well as other solid color outsoles, so that could be the issue. But honestly, I really don't think that the color is going to really matter on here. I feel like it's just the overall design probably. But yeah, you know, if you all want me to, you know, get a different color when it comes out and see if it performs better, let me know in the comments down below and I'll try it out. But yeah, you know, as it stands right now, the traction on the Zoom Freak 3 is just very inconsistent. So moving on to the cushion, the Zoom Freak 3 features what I believe to be a full-length Phylon midsole, and you do actually have two Zoom pods up in the forefoot area that are very similar to the LeBron line. However, there are some key differences. But yeah, you know, the Phylon in here is pretty stiff. There is just a little bit of impact protection, very, very minimal in the heel. I would say that the Phylon in here is better than what was in the Zoom Freak 2, but honestly, that's not that hard to do. But then as you move towards the forefoot, you do have those two Zoom pods. You can kind of see it right here in the outsole, very LeBron-esque, but in here, the Zoom pods are fully caged. You can see the Zoom unit through this little window, but this is a plastic right here. But because of this cage, the Zoom pods can't compress. And like I said, it is fully caged, so on the medial side as well. You can't see it, it's all in here and they just can't compress. You can feel it a little bit, but really not that much. So the cushion in here is just okay at best. Since they put these Zoom units up in the forefoot, I really do wish that maybe it was like a top-loaded Zoom unit or something, but because it's bottom-loaded and it's just fully caged, you can't feel it that much. You don't get that insane bounce and that, you know, just awesome feeling that you normally get from Zoom. So yeah, the cushion in here, to me, it's just whatever. So moving on to the materials, the Nike Zoom Freak 3 features like this very nice textile upper. It's thin, but it does the job. It's sturdy. It keeps your foot contained. It's really, really nice, honestly, especially for the price point. This is like the base for the whole entire shoe. As you move towards the back, you do have like another textile that just feels, you know, okay. And up in the high-wear areas, like in the toe box, you do have like this hit of fuse right here for that extra durability as well. So moving towards the tongue, you do have like this slightly quilted pattern on the tongue, kind of. But it does look pretty cool, and the tongue is also pretty thick as well. So if you all do like to crank your laces down, you know, you won't have the laces digging into your foot, which is really nice. And then on top of that tongue, you know, we have this strap right here, which let me show you. It kind of just goes right over the top of the shoe and does almost nothing. So yeah, pretty useless. Overall, the materials are nice on the shoe. Just the one thing I really don't like is this strap. It really does absolutely nothing. So moving on to the fit, I would say that the Zoom Freak 3 pretty much runs true to size. I went true to size, and it is a little bit narrow on the lateral side of the forefoot right here, but because these materials are nice and soft, I actually didn't have any problems. you know, there was a little bit of pressure at first, but I think the materials break in, so I didn't have any issues. If you guys are really wide footers, I would probably suggest you all go up a half size, just because your foot will probably hang off the side of the footbed a little bit, and that's just not something that you want. So wide footers, go up a half size. Everyone else, I'd say go true to size. The materials do lie very nicely over the foot, the tongue, everything. You just feel very, very comfortable and, you know, supported in the shoe. So overall, I would say that the fit in the shoe is good. So moving on to the support, I didn't have any issues with the support in the shoe. You do have an internal heel counter, and the heel sculpting in the shoe is very, very nice. You also do have like the split in the back, just so you know you don't have too much pressure on the Achilles, which is also really nice. You have decent padding in the heel area, helps lock in your heel. You're not going to have any issues with that heel slippage. And then in terms of, you know, side to side movement on the footbed, I would say that you really don't sit inside this cushion, this midsole, that much. However, I didn't have any issues when it came to side movements, because I think the materials do a great job of keeping yourself on that footbed. And then in terms of that torsional rigidity and stability, you know, you're covered there as well. This is decoupled, and like this area in the middle really does, you know, just like kind of stiffen up the shoe. And also, if you like to make hard lateral movements, you're covered there as well. This is a very wide base, and you can see that this midsole protrudes out very, very far. So you are covered there as well. So the Zoom Freak 3 retails for, I believe, $120, and for $120, you know, I would say that this is a pretty solid shoe. Really the only downside to the shoe for me is the fact that the traction is inconsistent, but you know, I'm hoping different colorways you know, perform better, and if that's the case, then yeah, this is, you know, a pretty solid performer. Definitely not something that I would play in a lot or really at all after this video, just because, you know, there are so many other great shoes out there. But if you are a Giannis Antetokounmpo fan, I mean, you know, he is an NBA champ now, and you want to wear his shoes, then I would say go for it. Just maybe wait for a color that has like a different colored outsole, because maybe it'll perform better. But you know, everything else, you know, is pretty solid, I would say. I think everything on here is an upgrade from the Zoom Freak 2, except for the traction, because I think the traction on the Zoom Freak 2 was way better than this. Other than that traction issue, yeah, you know, this is a pretty solid shoe, I would say. Aesthetically, I think it looks cool. I just really don't like the strap right here. It really does nothing but add extra weight and clunkiness to the shoe, I guess. If you all want to pick up a pair of these just because, you know, you're a Giannis fan or something like that, I would say go for it. It is a pretty solid shoe outside of that traction issue, but me personally, you know, I would rather play in something else around this price point. That's pretty much it for this performance review. If you all like this video, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below, and also smash that notification bell and that thumbs up button for me, as it really does help me out. While you're at it, check out this video on my left and on my right, and that's pretty much it. Until next time,